supported 600 organizations. Employees gave back over $200,000 and logged nearly 5,000 volunteer hours across Louisiana, all in 2023. That's what keeps CLECO energized.
Hey, everybody. Okay. Yeah, I got to find a way to where I can seamlessly go back like that. That's tomorrow's problem. Looking out right now in the Dry Creek to DeRidder area, we do have some rain falling. So we have the light rain that has started up again early on in the day, and it looks like we're going to see much more of that across the area. It's going to get heavier like we've been seeing here. So yeah, it's more of the same here with the rainfall, and it looks like we are going to see those showers and storms really kind of activate as we get a little bit of daytime heating. 79 degrees out of Rapides Regional right now. Looks like no rain falling, but it is a little cloudy out there, and that is going to be the case for today. Looking at the big radar picture, there it comes once again, that disturbance continuing to churn off the Texas and Louisiana coast, and that just kind of spirals in those showers and thunderstorms as we get a little later into the day, actually starting up a bit earlier today. And looking at rainfall estimates over the past 3 days, still some haves and have-nots, and these are estimates, and when we put this little token right on a city, it might not be exactly what they've seen, but Alexandria estimates around 2.2 inches. At the airport, I think they've seen like 1.3, so it's a little bit off there, but that could also be because it's positioned differently. But anywhere from a trace in Shreveport to a couple inches in Alexandria and down into New Orleans, and it looks like down toward Vermilion Bay, we've seen some pretty hefty totals out there. So rain has been falling, will continue to fall. That's going to help with any sort of wildfire danger, so that is awesome news right there. Temperatures today really not moving much. Low to mid 80s for highs. I think we see about 84 degrees in Alexandria. It all depends on when you get those showers and storms into your area, which is going to be earlier down south and later as we get later into the day up to the north. Low to mid 70s. Future temps planner is wet, as we know. Mid 80s. High school football tonight. Not looking great. I know my buddy Doug's probably watching, didn't want to see that. So scattered showers and storms that are going to just pinwheel around that system. This is going to be the rule through the weekend. It's not going to be continuous, but as you can see, it's going to kind of come in waves. We'll get some rainfall out of this. We'll get some heavy rainfall totals, I think, although no flood watches in place locally. There are some down around New Orleans. So if you are headed that way, a little more of a flood danger. But with all this, even though we've seen some really active stuff, actually, we had a near 50-mile-per-hour gust at the airport yesterday. I believe it hit 49 officially. So we've seen some really active wind with this. I mean, 90 miles an hour 2 nights ago, almost 50 yesterday, and we're measuring that. That means we could have seen isolated totals even higher than that. And then looking at the severe threat, there's still not much of a threat. So we've seen it the last couple of days, or we've seen some really gusty winds, but it looks like the setup is getting less and less favorable as that moisture increases. 2 to 4 inches additional through the next week. We're actually going to get a little bit of a saddle point where the chances kind of come down on Monday and then they come back up next week. So anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, the heavier totals most likely down to the south. Here's a look at the Gulf of Mexico and the Bahamas, that area close into home. We see that circulation that is non-tropical or not a surface low pressure that's going to become something tropical. That's pulling the rainfall in for us. Now, out into the open Atlantic, that's where things get a bit more interesting. Here we have a couple of waves we're watching. It looks like some showers and storms kind of trying to get organized here. The chances for development continue to kind of slowly step up. There's now 2 waves that are out there that we're actually watching. And when I look at the forecast down the road with this stuff, I am a little intrigued as to where these are going to go. This is that time of season. We're heading into the peak season. So with favorable conditions, it looks like these are going to become tropical systems down the road. And we'll have to watch this as they continue on toward the Gulf of Mexico. No imminent threats or anything, but I would say I'm kind of watching that time frame from about September 9th to the 13th for the Gulf of Mexico. So we're still like, 10 days out, 10 to 12. We're not that good. Remember, we're not going to be able to give you any specifics, but that's the kind of a time I have circled on the calendar. It is the absolute exact peak of hurricane season as well. So that's when, fortunately, if we get past that, that's when it starts to trail off. We start to see the tropics quiet down, even though we would have several more active weeks. But these are the areas we're watching, the one moving through the Caribbean, another out in the open Atlantic, and I think we'll see a busy run here for the next several weeks. Looking at your 7-day forecast, it's wet. You knew that. We have Big rain chances through the weekend. Any Labor Day weekend plans not looking great, though Labor Day itself, I think we actually kind of clear out and see only scattered storms. And then rain chances pop back up to 60% on Tuesday and Wednesday and bump them back down to 40% on Thursday. But I mean, temperatures largely below 90 degrees. This would qualify for some blue on the map. And as we look further out into the future, we're going to see. Now I got to click back in here. The things I have to do. Okay, we got some blue on the map. This is beyond the 7-day, your 8 to 14-day outlook. Now, this is going to be heavily influenced by what happens in the tropics. We do have what we see that, temperatures around or slightly below normal, which that time of year we're normally going to be around 90 degrees. So anything below that puts us in the 80s. And again, heavily influenced by the tropics here. So I'm not saying throw this map out, but it's something that if we do see a tropical system coming this way, we can kind of throw out at that point. So it's a lot we're going to be watching, for the near term here. We're watching the showers and storms that are not going to be tropically driven by a tropical system. But I think as we get into about the 7 to 10-day time frame, we'll start to get a better idea of what's going on. And then possibly a little further down the road, we are dealing with something. Don't go watching single runs of the GFS model if you're a weather nerd. Just don't do it right now. We're going to watch ensembles. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to tell you what's going on as best I can. Tom's going to help as well. And I'll be back in town Sunday evening, I believe. So that'll probably be Sunday. I think I probably won't broadcast, but tomorrow morning we will. Today's the big pre-party for the wedding, and then tomorrow, the beautiful wedding. Here we are in North Carolina, Goldsboro at the Record Rack. Let's see. Let me step out of the way, show you the big sign. Isn't that cool? Kind of like a Hard Rock Cafe vibe to it. And this place is just really cool. Nice little Airbnb that we're sharing, and everybody's been quiet for me. How nice of them. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful whatever day it is. I believe we'll call this Friday. Yes. Have a great Friday. I'll see you back here tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. We'll get through this together. We're watching it all, Tom and I will see you back here tomorrow.